we are going to use stat and go over to tests, and then we're going to take number 5, which is the one prop Z test, so one proportion Z test, and our null proportion is 0.5. X is the frequency, so 90 people who said they never smoked. N is 150, that's the number of people that were surveyed. And then here you can see for proportion you can choose not equal to P naught, less than P naught, or greater than P naught. So this is two-sided, so we're taking not equal to. And you can see we can choose between calculate and draw. So I'll show you both of those. So if we do calculate, this is the information we're given. So you can see it's showing the proportion is not equal to 0.5. So that's where you can check that you've chosen the right, whether it's one-sided or two-sided. Z is 2.449, so rounds to 2.45. P is 0.0143, so that's the probability of getting this Z value or further. And this is the two-sided value that we got right over here, so 0.014 when we doubled the one tail. You can see our P hat is 0.6 and N is 150, so make sure that you if you are using this instead of doing the calculations yourself, you do need to list out your P hat and your Z and your proportion. Okay, so you need to make sure you write those all down. Okay, let's try this again. Once again, it's stats, tests, number 5. And this time, instead of calculating, we're going to draw it. And that's another way you can check that you've got one-sided or two-sided. So by drawing it, what you are given is you can see visually. Now here the area is not very big, so it's hard to see that that is shaded in. But you can see our Z value, and you can see the probability.
All right. Now, is there another way to look at Josh's results that might be more meaningful? Because now that we know that Josh's school probably does not match the 50% national average, what might be the number of students who smoke in Josh's school? So what might the proportion be in Josh's school? So the answer to that, how we can find it, is with the confidence interval, because that gives us a range of values. So the 95% confidence interval is remember we do estimate plus or minus the margin of error and so that's going to be 0.60 plus or minus 1.96 times the square root of 0.6 1 minus 0.6
over 150. Remember that when we are doing the confidence interval for proportion, we are using our statistics. So 0.6 being our proportion, in this case, instead of using the population proportion, which we don't, that's what we're trying to get an estimate of. So we end up with 0.6 plus or minus 0.078, which gives us a range from 0.522 to 0.678. So we need to conclude here again. We are 95% confident that the interval from 0.522
to 0.678 captures the true proportion
of students at Josh's High School who would say they had never smoked a cigarette. Okay.
We can also say we would not be surprised
if the true proportion
was as low as 52.5%,
or as high as 67.8%. However,
we would be surprised
if the true proportion was 50%,
since this value is outside of
of our 95% confidence interval. All right,
so these questions we will be looking at next class.
Bye.